Hi, Michael Bettine here for this week's episode of It's Cup of Time. And I want to talk about something that's rather controversial. That is the idea of people giving out certificates at the end of training sessions, weekend sessions, and whatever you want to call it. But, people giving out certificates. And also just looking at the whole idea of certification for people working with gongs and or singing bowls and what is generally called sound therapy, sound healing. So we're going to jump into that subject and I'll give you my ideas on it. Certificates or certification. And this is always a difficult subject to talk about. I think more people are inquiring about this because more people are offering certificates for their sound courses, gong courses, bowl courses, and whatever. And the main problem with that is you get a certificate from taking a week-long or a weekday, weekend course, whatever. What does it really mean? And what does it really certify other than attendance? I was there. I took this course. The thing we don't have in the sound healing, sound therapy, gong, singing bowl realm is some sort of a group or a board that can offer some sort of guidelines for everybody to follow so that those of us who teach are following the same steps and everybody gets the same information, and thus we have some sort of a rigid course and you come out of the end of it and you get your certificate. Now, with yoga, there's the Yoga Alliance, and you can earn your certificate hours, and then you can put, yoga instructor, Yoga Alliance, 200 hours. And later on, you can put 300, and then 500, or 1,000, or whatever, showing that you've gone through that much training through the Yoga Alliance, which is a group that has put together standards. So, there's that with yoga, but there's nothing like that in the sound therapy, sound healing, gong, singing bowl realm. Basically, we are on our own. Now, I know a lot of people who offer certification, and for various reasons, you can get credits for attending courses, but you need to have a certificate to say you attended it. I know in England, they have a whole sort of certification thing. And many of the teachers there, like Phil McNamara and Sheila Whitaker, do have a regular course, and they do offer a certificate for it, and you go through this course through like a year long or so. So they have put together something there, and I think a few other teachers in England. There might be similar things in other parts of the world, but I know here in the States, there's really nothing like that. So it's sort of, everyone's on their own, and many people offer a certificate, level 3, level 2, different levels of singing bowl or gong playing. You take the first weekend and you get the level 1, the second weekend you get the level 2, and then finally level 3, and you could show, well, I went through this course. But because there's nothing to back those up, again, there's no rigid steps. There's nothing that's approved by any sort of governing body. There's no plan that says this person or group is teaching the same as this person or group and that person or group, that they're all doing the same thing, and they can thus offer certification. Basically, any certificate you get from anybody is just a participation trophy. It says, I was there, I was there for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday session. That's all it's worth, really. Nothing says you learned anything or you have any sort of, how should I put it, level or position or standing as far as where you are. Now, as far as what I do, I teach privately. I also present workshops and master classes. I've been teaching drums since I was like 18 years old. So, I mean, I've been teaching a long time. And I've never offered any sort of certificates because, again, to me, it's a participation trophy. It says, I was there. And it doesn't prove anything. And the big difference in the way I look at it is I see each person as an individual. I don't have a rigid structure as far as teaching. I have things that I teach everybody, but because each person is an individual and different, it may take one person longer to get from this step to the next step, where in that same amount of time, somebody could get to step 3 of what I teach or things like that. Or maybe somebody is already over here. So I will take them from where they are and add things of value to what they're doing. I see how I teach as very old-fashioned. I look at it more as like a mentorship or an apprenticeship, where I'm mentoring people and they're sort of like an apprentice. I mean, if you certainly go back through time, through history, and how people learned in the past, is they apprenticed with somebody, whether it was some sort of a skill, being like a machinist or a carpenter, something like that, or being a medicine man, medicine woman, being, any sort of thing in a society is you usually apprenticed with somebody and you worked closely with them. And what they did is pass on their knowledge. Not in necessarily any sort of formal book way, open the book, okay, go to chapter 3, we're going to work on that, but more of like guiding you along. And that's how I see the way I work. So it's difficult for me to give anybody anything more than, like I said, a participation trophy. Yes, I studied with him for these amount of days. But the thing is, different people will advance at different rates. So somebody could be with me for 3 days, a full weekend workshop, and get this far. Somebody else could get this far. Because we are all in a different place, learn at a different rate. And the knowledge I pass on is something that needs to be absorbed. So again, it's sort of a mentor-apprentice relationship. Often what I do with people is we get together, I find out where they are at, then I give them ideas to work on, give them some techniques, send them away and say, okay, chew over this for a while. Think about it, work with it. When you think you understand it, when you think you've absorbed it and it's internal, get back to me and I'll give you some more stuff to work on. So it's not like a weekly thing that I teach. It's different than when I taught drum lessons and people came to me, like every Tuesday they came for a lesson. Teaching the gongs singing bowl thing to me is more that mentorship thing where, okay, here's a bunch of stuff, go work on it, absorb it. It might take you 2 weeks, it might take you 2 months, it might take you 2 years to absorb it. But when you have it and you're hungry for more, get back to me and I'll give you more stuff to work on. Same with my master classes too. It's just in workshops. It's like I give you a lot of information and send you home to work on it and and to absorb it. I give you practical stuff you can use right away. Like if you had a gong session the next day, you could take some of the ideas and techniques I've given you and use them there. But I also give you a lot of ideas and knowledge that you need to absorb over time. You need to work with it and deepen it and really find where it connects with you. Find where it connects with you, right in here. Right in here. You know, connect with your mind, your heart, and your spirit so that you know it and understand it fully. Then you can come back, and not only will I give you more information, but you can also ask questions then, because you have worked with something, and hopefully it will bring up questions to further you along the path. Then you could come back and say, I worked on this. I think I understand it, but what about this? Or what about that? Then I can give you deeper explanation if it's needed. I can correct things if it's needed. And I can also impart newer information and send you again on your way so you can go back to your place and work on it. And then again, at some indeterminate time in the future, you can get back to me and say, okay, I think I have this down. I want to go deeper. And that's just, that's the way I do it. Other people are free, obviously, to teach how they want. People are free to present a piece of paper. It can be all gold and silver and have script on it and scrolls and look really fancy, like a diploma, and present them to you. That is fine. I don't do that. I really can't do that, and I probably will never do that because that is not the way I work. And for this kind of work, I think the piece of paper is, again, just a participation trophy. You were here. That's all it's saying. So, those are my thoughts. I'm sure you have your own thoughts and ideas and opinions. Please put them down in the comments below. I like to have a discussion. I think it's important. And there's been many lively discussions from these videos. So put your hate mail down below, put your thumbs up down below, whatever you want. And I'm always glad to read through your comments. I try to answer every comment that needs an answer. And thanks a lot for watching. We will see you next time on It's Cuppa Time.